Welcome to Raw TV, Real and Willing Television. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Michael Steiner. Now tonight we're talking about the very real issue of safety and bullying. They say that 77% of students are bullied both mentally, verbally, and physically. Tonight we're going to be talking to Jalen Arnold, founder of Jalen's Challenge, a young boy with a very special story and a mission to stop bullying.
We also have with us Wayne Buchanan, who is the Assistant Director of Safety and Security at Southeastern University. We'll be talking to him about his experience as monitoring bullying in public schools and how we can be safe on Southeastern's campus and on any college campus, that is. And we'll also be getting a special self-defense demonstration from Taekwondo instructor John Carvajal. All coming up on Raw TV. Welcome back. We are here with Jalen from Jalen's Challenge. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks
We're
for
so
coming
excited
on,
to
buddy.
talk to you.
You're welcome, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jalen. Tell us a little bit about your story, your condition, and different things for the folks at home.
Okay, well, as you know, my name is Jalen Arnold, and I'm the founder of jalenschallenge.org, and I made it for people to understand what Tourette syndrome is. So, like, if someone has it in public, the people will know what it is instead of saying he's weird. And it talks about bullying too, to tell people not to bully. So.
Okay. Cool. So you've been diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. Is there anything else that you have been diagnosed with?
I am diagnosed with OCD and Asperger syndrome.
So was that hard for you when you were in school? Did you face any bullying or any situations like that?
Well, not at my regular school, but when I got transferred to the public school, I got bullied a lot.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience there? Like what was that like being bullied and stuff like that? What kind of any stories?
It was extremely horrible to be at that school because, one, the work was real easy, and there's bullies everywhere in the class, and the teacher didn't do nothing about it. If someone was misbehaving, like, these kids were only in second grade, and they said some bad language and to the teacher, and she didn't do nothing about it. She didn't.
So we need to be aware in schools, and teachers need to become aware.
Yeah.
As his mother, knowing that he was diagnosed with this and that you would have to, handle this and that he'd have to go to school, how did you deal with that? How did you face it?
Jalen only had a 3-month stint in public school. I went there every day.
Wow.
When the bullying started and I couldn't get any assistance from the teachers and the principals, I was pretty much told they could not guarantee the safety of my son. And his conditions kind of tell on him. Most children who get bullied tend to hold it in. Jalen has these disorders that kind of tell on him when he's super stressed. So I knew that something was going on with him. And went there every day and tried to advocate for him. And it's just many teachers and parents also think it's normal, it's child's play. They need to just, learn to be tough and stick up for themselves. So, if your child's getting bullied, you need to really be their best advocate and go all the way to the top as much as you can.
Right. So Jalen, can you tell us a little bit about when you started wanting to do something about bullying and how that whole passion and drive got birthed in you?
Yeah.
Well, it was one day when I was coming back from the public school, and it was my last day there too. I was going back to the other school because that school was not good for me. And I felt bad for all the other kids getting bullied in that class too, and I didn't want to just leave them behind because to me it just didn't feel right. So I go to my mom, and there was a kid who was getting bullied bad, and he just went crazy. All the students had to try to calm him down. He was going wild because he really got sick of himself getting bullied.
Yeah.
So I told my mom about that, and then together we both thought of how to stop bullying and tell everybody about that. So we both came up with the website, and we both thought of the name Jalen'sChallenge.org. So we had a friend from across the country, or across the world, in the United Kingdom. Yeah, he helped us. He is a webmaster, and he helped us create a website.
Which is an awesome website. I've been on it. Very
Thank you.
professional. I love it.
Thank you.
You have something for them, don't you?
Yep, and I have these wristbands for you guys.
I'm really excited. I saw these on the website,
Thanks,
and they
buddy.
actually say bullying no way, Jalen'sChallenge.com. So
.org.
or .org. Sorry.
But
.org.
.com works also.
Oh, it does
Okay.
work. It'll
Yeah.
take you direct you right there.
The yellow is Jalen's color, and the blue is actually the universal color for bullying.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's also the color for Tourette syndrome.
Oh, wow.
This is
And it's my
awesome.
second favorite color.
So, as his mom, how did you react when Jalen wanted to come and start doing
Yeah.
something about all this bullying?
Well, when he wanted to do something, what started off as just a grassroots effort here locally, I told him I would help him and I would do what I could. And he, we both came up with the idea of just having the website for kids out there. But he came up with his own logo and design, and he really input all of the characteristics there on the website with this webmaster in the United Kingdom. But it started off as a local thing, and then it just kind of went viral overnight. We did a story with a newspaper, and the next thing I know, we're on CNN and Katie Couric and the Discovery Channel. So it's a big problem, is what it is, and we didn't
really
realize
is.
quite how
Yeah.
big it was. Just him going to a public school for such a short time, but it is a universal, global, huge problem that's taking the lives of
Well,
children.
obviously, there have been some positive effects of trying to start this organization, but were there any problems you faced at first doing that, since we can see in the schools the teachers really tend to not care? Were there any problems you faced when you tried to start this organization?
No, I haven't had any obstacles in starting the organization. I had most of my problems when I was trying to get the bullying to stop for him personally, getting mocked. And what he didn't describe to you was he was mocked very badly by some children with his Tourette's and the ticking and the jerking that he does. He was never physically bullied because, like I said, I went to that school
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So, Jalen, what would you tell some kids? What would you say to kids who are trying to get out of bullying? What would you say to kids that are trying to protect themselves? How do we stop this?
Well, the number one thing to do is if you're getting bullied, you go tell a teacher or a parent, or the best thing to do is tell both and make sure that ends. But if you're too scared or you don't want to do that, you should always travel in groups with your friends, like go around in groups. Then you can't really get bullied.
That's very smart.
Mhm.
And what are some of the misconceptions you think people have about bullying, especially parents, because they're not at school, they don't know. So what do you think those misconceptions are?
They think it's child's play. They think that kids are just being kids and that they just need to, learn to be tough and take up for themselves. But I mean, bullies target their bullies, and it's always one-sided. They target people who are weaker than them, either mentally or physically. And even girls. Girls don't tend to bully individually, but as a group in a little clique with their slam books and rumors, they will bully that way. It's more in the social realm, but it is a problem as well.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Is there anything else you would like everyone to know that you want to say? Your motto?
Bullying, no way.
No way.
No way.
Perfect.
No way.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming on and talking
for
about
having
bullying and
Thank
stuff like
you.
that.
Thank you.
Now, check out this word on the street with Candace Shoemaker about cyberbullying.
Hey everyone, I'm Candace Shoemaker with Word on the Street here in downtown Lakeland. Did you guys know that bullying in the schoolyard has been replaced by a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week online bashing called cyberbullying? 42% of our students have been bullied in this form, so I want to find out how we can stop this. So Jahan, why do you think that cyberbullying is so popular with students these days?
Well, students, they like that because they want to communicate and stuff.
I think people do it because it shows power over somebody, or it shows maybe they can control somebody. So I think for young people, I think that's something that's kind of important to them.
Parents teach it to their kids that it's okay, and that, it doesn't really get stopped by teachers.
So do you think the school has a role in stopping this?
I think that the school can stop it.
It's hard to think of a way that they can without, invading privacy or anything, because, you could tell students, don't go on Facebook or don't have an email or this, but, there's only so much you can really do.
We don't have enough programs of any kind teaching right from wrong.
Exactly.
It's just everybody's kind of all over the place. So.
Yeah.
At a younger age, if you have a kid that's bullying another, if you bring those two in and you talk about why it's happening and things like that, and there's consequences, and sometimes you can stop it early on.
But I think we as parents and also the people that they really work with kids this age, particularly at the school, they have to keep eye on them and talk to them, and just be too close and involved with them.
I think they could stop it. I think that a lot of parents aren't home enough to be around their kids to be influenced with their life. So I think that they could stop it, but I think that they feel like they don't have enough time.
Parents should be involved with what's going on, with what their kids are doing, because if they don't know who they're hanging out with, if their kids are getting bullied, that's how things start, because kids don't like to speak up.
As you guys heard, cyberbullying is a very prevalent issue among students today, and the solution is not very clear. But we do know that as a Christian community, it is up to us to educate students on the importance of respecting themselves and respecting others. I am Candace Shoemaker, and this has been Word on the Street.
Thank you so much, Candace. Now we are with Wayne Buchanan, the Assistant Director of Security here at Southeastern's campus. Wayne, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us.
Now, being a police officer, what sparked your passion to help monitor bullying? Because I know that's the area that you went into.
Sure. I was a police officer for 13 years over in Hillsborough County, and it all went back to 1985 when I had a police officer teach a class that I was taking in college. And dealing with the bullying was it was a natural part of my job as a school resource officer, because I did that for 11 years. And I can't tell you the number of times I came into contact with children like Jalen, who, through no fault of their own, were being picked on incessantly by kids. And that irked me to no end. I have 3 children of my own, and I wouldn't stand to have them bullied, and I wasn't about to let other children be bullied when I could do something about it.
That's where your heart
Now,
was.
you served as a resource officer in the public school system.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience there, different stories and stuff about what that was like?
Oh, I've got a lot of stories. Bullying always seemed to be at the root of every single issue I had. I remember one time I got called up to a bathroom, and I go in there and I had to break up the nastiest 7th grade girl fight I've ever seen. I get in there and there's weave all over the place, and by the time I'm done and I've got one of them in handcuffs, my uniform has pieces everywhere, and I wind up in a sling for 2 weeks with tendonitis. But it was bullying. One girl saying something about another girl. It just goes on, and they don't stop. They don't know when to quit.
Yeah. Where do you think the root of all of this starts? Where the root of bullying is?
Jalen's mom was right. Parents are going to say it's kids being kids, but it's not. The root is just parents not spending enough time with kids being on their own, the latchkey kids. It's all peer pressure. Hey, let's go jump little Johnny. Let's go take his lunch money. He's got Tourette's syndrome. Let's go laugh at the way he makes these strange noises. And they think, okay, well, I want to fit in. I want to be cool, so I'm going to do it. And they don't realize the pain that they cause, both emotionally and physically, to these kids. And I've seen it all the way from kindergarten all the way up through high school.
Do you think that there's like a difference in the way that people bullying, like between guys and girls, maybe like older and younger and different things like that, like the difference between middle school and elementary maybe? Or
I think girls tend to do it a lot more emotionally, might make more use of things like Facebook and MySpace. I arrested 2 girls in middle school several years ago for using email to bully a boy.
Yeah, cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Cyberbullying, exactly. I think boys tend to be more upfront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll call names. They'll make the boys cry. They'll beat them up, and they just don't care how it makes them feel.
Yeah.
Now, how did you make the switch from going from the public schools, the middle school, elementary, to now being a director of or assistant director of security at a campus, a college campus?
You know, and I could spend hours on that.
Yeah.
That's just how God worked in my life. I spent about 3 years as a missionary on the mission field, and I loved it. And I see Southeastern turning out young men and young women doing the same thing. And I want to be part of making it possible for them to do that. I can't do it anymore, but I can take what I learned as a police officer in the security and how to prevent bullying and stuff and bring it here and help create a safe environment for the staff and the students, so these students, like yourselves, can prepare to go out in the full-time ministry, in business as ministry, or whatever. And that's where my heart is now. That's why I retired, and that's why I'm here.
Cool. So what are some safety advice you can give to students on campus and stuff like that about how to protect themselves from different things and stuff like that, and even to the general public?
Sure. And I think anything that would apply here would apply to the public in general. Some specifics to here are, if you're parked in one of these remote lots at night and you're alone, call security. Say, hey, I'm out here in my car. Stay in your car till security gets there. We'll help you. If you've got a car on campus, obey the speed limits. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen cars flying past some of these dorms and students walking across the street and they don't see the car. Walk tall. Don't be looking down counting all the cracks. Keep your head up. Walk with a purpose. If you see somebody being bullied, say something, but help them. Get some help. And that's a lot of the reason the bullying exists, is because these kids are afraid to get help. And the bullying exists even on a college campus. We're not going to get away from it here with Facebook, which is more oriented towards the young adults and adults. We've got the cyberbullying. It happens the entire age span.
What are some safety issues you've experienced on a college campus?
Students texting on their cell phone, not walking where they're going, and running into things.
That's gonna be kind of funny.
Literally cutting in front of a security golf cart when that golf cart is going like a half a foot an hour.
That's too funny.
So just paying attention to where you're going.
Yeah. Anything? Well, I know that there's been, situations like you talked about with the remote parking lots too, like how to be careful because there was a robbery at one time, and just what do you do about that as a security guard? Like, how do you just call? Call when we were parking there, basically, to call the security.
Yeah, just call the security office, and we will send somebody out to get you, and we'll even give you a ride in the golf cart to where you're going.
Oh, that's great.
Of course, it's got to be at night when it's not safe. Don't call during the middle of the day when everybody's walking around.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking to us and educating us on how to be safe.
You're very welcome.
Well, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. We are with John Carvajal here, a Taekwondo instructor on Southeastern's campus. He's going to be showing us a few techniques for self-defense and protection.
Yes, I want to know, if I'm in a situation, what do I do? So let's see a few moves.
Okay. Well, first thing we want to keep in mind is, what are my targets and what are my weapons?
Okay.
Right along the center of the body, there's 5 major targets. One is the nose. Flick somebody in the nose, it hurts. Imagine if you hit them hard.
How do I flick? I don't know.
We don't flick, we punch.
Oh, punch. Okay.
The second major target is your throat. It takes 2 pounds of pressure to break the trachea. Okay, 2 pounds is not a lot.
No.
Okay. Third one is the solar plexus. It's right below the sternum. Okay, it's not the big part of the gut. It's just above there. It's the breadbasket. It's the spot where you get hit that makes you lose your breath and keel over. Fourth spot is 1 inch below the belly button. We usually tell them belt level, because if you aim in that direction, you're going to hit them. Their body's just going to tip right over. Okay. And the target number 5 is the groin. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what are my weapons? You on the hand alone, there's 14 different weapons, and on the legs there's weapons right there. On the legs there are at least 5. So.
Right, go ahead.
So when you strike someone, you want to keep in mind that you have this arsenal on
Right.
your whole body is a weapon,
Okay.
and we don't hurt other people. We punish others for trying to hurt us.
Oh, okay.
And since we're Christians in a nice Christian way, right?
All right.
Tell them once, tell them twice. Okay, first thing we want to do is a chokehold. Everyone says, "What happens if I get choked?" Okay. Who wants to choke me?
I'll choke you.
All right. Okay.
Naturally. All right, ready?
I'm gonna do 5 or 6 different
Okay.
things. So go ahead and choke me.
Just choke.
Okay, he's at arm's length. Okay.
Right.
Now, in all things, praise the Lord. Okay. So when you're being choked, you gotta praise the Lord. Put both hands up, praise the Lord. All right. Okay. But when you're praising the Lord, you gotta remember to dive deep into His.
Okay.
Dive deep into
right,
His. You ever heard that song, Waves of Mercy, Waves of Grace? You're going to dive deep into His waves of mercy and His waves of grace. Okay?
Okay. So praise
So,
the Lord. That's one key thing.
Praise,
to remember.
praise the Lord. And when you dive deep, remember, you have to bow down. Okay? Bow down. Dive deep. Okay? Which puts you in a really good position to not take someone out.
So, man, we still got 7 minutes, all right? Let's get warmed up.
I was going to take you down first.
Okay.
Next thing, same thing. He's at arm's length. Okay? If he's at arm's length and he can reach you, you can reach him. 2 pounds of pressure break the trachea. I'm gonna take 2 fingers, put it at his throat, and then I'm gonna walk. Hey, I'm in charge now, right? And again, what are your targets? Okay? At this point in your life, you know what hurts and what doesn't. So if he chokes me,
Okay.
okay, what happens when you're bad? You grab the ear. Hey, man.
Okay.
Grandma taught me right.
So whatever we can grab at.
Right.
Okay.
So if you can touch his throat, you can definitely hit him in the face. You can hit him in the groin. Here's your 5 major targets right down the middle. Okay.
Okay.
Something you want to keep in mind. 3 things: deter, distract, destroy, in a nice Christian way.
So what if I'm coming from behind? Like
Coming from behind. Let's see.
someone comes against me from behind.
All right. So typical bear hug. Now, what do I have to use?
Your hands.
I have my hands, okay? Hey, listen, some people have mini little pocket keychain knives. I can
Like a pocket
reach into my pocket, get it out. I can cut his hands up until he decides to let go.
Okay.
Another thing you want to keep in, okay, typically when someone grabs you in a bear hug, they might try to pick you up, especially if you're smaller, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you get picked up, I'm heavy, brother, you're not going to do it. If you get picked up, the one thing I see the most is the ladies, they kick out in front. Ah! That's not where he is. He's behind you. Kick behind you. Okay? But since I have my hands, okay, and I don't want to get picked up, I'm going to drop real low, okay? Now look what happens. His arms went up. This might be my chance to get out. Okay? If he's going real tight, I'm going to turn my head and just get out of there, okay? Take out something important. But even if he's got such a strong grip, you still want to get low, okay? Because now he's in a compromised position. Okay, let's see. What do I have? I have a foot. I've got a knee. I've got a groin that I can kick up or strike with, solar plexus. Hey, have you ever seen Miss Congeniality? Sing. Solar plexus, instep, nose, groin. All right? But at this point, he's still thinking, I don't know how long I can hold on. Great, this is where I want him, okay? It's at this point, you want to get a hold of his hands. If you can grab a pinky, that'd be awesome. But get his hands, roll them out. Ooh, you just bought something. Okay? I'm in charge. Walk with me, talk with me. All right. Okay? Kick him while he's down.
Okay, show me how I can take Michael down if he were to attack me. Well, not him, but some guy. Like if he's grabbing me or something.
Oh,
What do I do?
okay. This is something you see with boyfriends and girlfriends. They're having a fight and she wants to walk away. And what happens is, hey, come here. So what happens is,
Come here.
he's doing that. You pull back because that's what you want, and he's going to pull back because that's what he wants. When that happens, I'm going to roll my wrist around, grab his arm. Okay? Here's his elbow joint. I don't want to touch it. I want to break it. So when I break it, here's a leverage point, okay? That wasn't even the fun part. I was going to spin around and throw him over there.
Okay, I need to try this.
Okay? Oh, but I'm not done.
Oh.
All right. So once we've broken it, I'm going to take this foot, spin around, and put him on the floor. I'm going to put my knee on his elbow. I've got his hand now. And I'm just going to pull up till he says, Uncle. Uncle! Okay, here we go.
Okay, now my turn to do that.
Yeah. Before we do this, 3 things you want to keep in mind, or 3 little tidbits you want to keep in mind. with the grabs, go ahead and grab her. First thing you want to keep in mind is what we call a live hand. You open your hand as wide as possible. Okay, what this does is it makes his grip spread a little bit. Okay,
Do I grab him?
so you can roll in. That's roll out. Okay, that's what we're doing. You can roll in. Okay, look.
Yeah.
Good. You can roll out, which is what we're going to do for this move. Okay, and then you can open your fingers and roll, push up, roll up. Okay.
Oh,
Now, when you do this really fast, because they're looking down, do it really fast. His eyes, well, you have to go real high.
Oh, higher?
His eyes are going to follow his hand. Look
Yeah,
what's
so then I can hit him there?
looks what's available. Okay, the throat, the ribs, anything in between.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do this one move. 'cause
So
I
when
wanna
you
get
do,
it in before we're short
okay,
on time.
pull out.
Okay, now what?
When he's pulling, let him
And
have
then
that
I
give.
hit it?
Break his arm.
And then what do I spin?
Spin around. Put him on the floor. Yeah, yeah. Now secure him. Secure him.
Okay, then what?
Put your knee on his arm.
Yep.
That'll work. All right. Right there. There you go. You can put his knee in his back. Listen, the spine, there are so many points on the spine that
What should I hit there?
could paralyze. You can palm fist, hit him in the back of the head. This will knock him out, okay?
Oh, I want to learn how to knock him out. Okay.
Just drop an elbow on his head.
Okay, that's good. Because
All
if
right,
he's knocked
good.
out, then I have time to run away.
You have time to run. Either way, you want to make sure that you can
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much
keep him
for-
from continuing.
That was amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
I'll pay your medical bills later.
Well, I hope you guys all learned a little bit about educating yourself on bullying and what is really going on in our generation today and how we can stop this and how to be safe. And here you learned some self-defense moves. And don't forget to check out jalenschallenge.org to find out more about how we can stop bullying.
Not only that, but you can watch full episodes of Raw TV now. Just look up Raw TV Southeastern on your iTunes website. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and as always, don't forget to
Live it raw.
Step back. You're going to use your back leg. Then go chamber. Okay, free chamber. But when you kick, give it a good yell. Okay?
Yell?
Like a high yell.